minutes to rejoin. If you have joined, okay, oh, there's some answers. Oh boy, okay. Okay, I'm gonna read. Wow, there's so many answers. Okay, there's a lot of answers. I'm gonna try to answer all. Ooh, I can't read them. I can't read all of them. Okay. Great. Paula says I'm at a webinar, trained webinar coach. Great. Rajiv, beginner. Very good. So community manager by Rajiv. Yes, man, you're signing up for a big work. Great. Level 3, Hermes. What's level 3 again? Level 3 is creator. Great. Coaching. I don't remember which level that is. Like that means coaching creators. Robert. Beginner, Jackie. Beginner, Forcian. Tremaine is at the creator level, getting to the point where you'll be a content creator. Tremaine, believe it or not, frustration is one of the ways in which you'll get yourself to content creator even faster, because when you're a creator, you end up being frustrated at the level of content that you're creating because it's not meeting the needs of your audience. And then you start to want to create. In a way, that's what happened to me when I stood in front of that container and realized I didn't know how to fill it, and then went looking for answers and couldn't find them. Frustration. So frustration could be your friend. Senior management, to be a content creator, says Jackie, great. Beginner, great. Claudine, you want to create useful content in 2021 and a book in 2023, great. Claudine, I don't know if you know that I've written a couple of books, so I can share a lot of my experience from that. I'm collaborating with international partners with new ideas. Great. The plan is to execute my business plan. Great. To move from content creator to webinar coach, I think that is Sean. Beginner to content creator. Hi, Julie. By December 2021. Great, 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 great. So there are some concrete steps that you need to take. Maybe some technologies you need to master in order to get there. But one of the things that I know content creators have a real difficult time with, and I can't even get into it tonight because it's too deep a topic. It's a weeks of training by itself. Is people don't have time. So it takes a particular level of task management to have a job and want to be a content creator and at the very same time. Because many people, I've met many people who tell me that they really want to do some of the things I've done, and they haven't. They haven't talked about they want to have a book, and they want to write for the newspapers, they want to have a blog, they want to do videos, they want to have a community, they want to have a conference, and time stands in the way. And what's helped me tremendously, and I'm saying this also because my area of specialty is task management, time blocking, or what people generally call time management. That's the area of personal productivity is one of the areas I specialize in. And here to say that if you don't have the skills, you could do everything else and not reach your goals, because knowing the unmet needs is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Being able to manage your time when you are in the position to have a regular job, a 9 to 5, or you're in the kind of work that doesn't allow you to create content, you have to do it on the side, takes advanced techniques. So I've dropped a couple of links that you could use. Scheduleu.org is one of my websites. We put on the time blocking summit each year. The next one is coming up in March. This year it's a task management and time blocking summit. This year, the one we had this year in March had an expert in someone who coaches authors in managing their time so that they get their books completed and other projects. Because it's a unique demand to be a creator who is creating on the side as a side hustle. So managing your time, and we're going to do a whole module on that in the Thought Leaders training. And also, here's another piece to the puzzle of your plan. So the first part of your plan is developing your skills. in a stepwise fashion, preferably with others. Second part of your plan is a productivity plan, if that's something that you require. The third, I'll tell you a story about a productivity plan in just a minute. The third is your promotion plan. But here's a joke about a productivity plan. So I had a friend who wanted to write a book. And she said, boy, I don't have time. I'm busy. I don't have time. I don't have time. And I said, all right, this was in Trinidad. I said, all right, you love your carnival, right? And she said, yeah, man, I love a carnival. And I know because, I've seen her in fets and costumes, and she does plays mass and juve and whole thing. So she had told me before that, come carnival time, she blocks out all this time just to have her carnival, which Trinis, people from other countries where carnival is big understand really well. So I said to her, all right, this year, take all that carnival time and put it into the book. She looked at me like she didn't say anything. Because in a way, I was calling her on her bluff. That if you're serious about creating content, then take all of that time and put it into one project, this book. All that time that would have been spent jumping and waving and having the time and having a line with your friends, put it somewhere else. So she never did it, never wrote the book. But you can imagine that kind of perspective of how do I create time when I need to accomplish a big goal, a big project. That time doesn't come from nowhere. Okay. All right. So the third part of your plan needs to be a promotional plan. And again, we won't get into this tonight, but you need to plan for the channels that you need to master. And this has become so important. We got a big boost during the Caribbean HR Forum virtual conference because of LinkedIn. And this would completely buck up our luck, or as they say in Trinidad, VAPS. We did not know that LinkedIn was so effective in reaching our audience, and didn't know it until we actually started using it. And it was wicked effective. And we use organic and we use paid. We did a little bit of Facebook and a little bit of Instagram, but LinkedIn was the big winner. And it just goes to show that with respect to reaching your audience, you need to have a plan for how do I take knowledge from here or here on my hard drive and expose it to an entire world that could benefit from it. And finally, you need to figure out how to generate partnerships with influencers. One of the big benefits of doing a virtual conference is that we had 73 people who were all influential in different areas. They told their friends about the conference, their friends came, their friends benefited from it. And having partnerships with individuals and organizations, like, for example, Hermab was one of our partners for the conference, and Cayman Islands CISHRP was a big partner, and B-Sherm was these were all partners of ours. As you partner with organizations, they also help you to spread content and to have an impact with your target audience. Okay. So I made an offhand remark before we went on the technical break that a lot of content creators are introverts, and introversion is great. It allows you to focus. And there are some practices that introverts and extroverts need to engage in order to reach your target audience and to meet unmet needs at scale. Okay. And Dale is saying that unfortunately these channels keep changing. Oh, that's so true. Just from September's conference to now, LinkedIn put a whole bunch of changes that allow us not to have the impact that we wanted in the way we wanted. Keeps changing. So you need to create a plan for improving your skills in a structured way. You need to create a plan for managing your productivity, and you need to create a plan for learning how to promote your content. So that's what, originally I thought of doing this training next year, but I thought about waiting until next year because I kind of didn't have the time to. But I'll ask you, would support help in putting together a plan like this? That's the question I asked. And I thought rather than wait until next April after my next virtual conference, maybe we could do it now. So we're actually going to be opening up this training right now, like right now, to offer you support as a content creator. I'm going to tell you some details about it. It's a bit different from the other trainings that we've offered after our webinars. So we had the L&D training back in May, which was just before the consultants training in June. And the purpose of the training is to learn how to produce quality HR content consistently, even when you face obstacles, so that you can meet your business goals. So it says a bunch of things, as you can imagine. So you got to have business goals. This is not for the casual content creator who's not thinking about business. But here's the nitty-gritty of the program. Oops, click, but it didn't work. And here's a price. There's a price to this program. Oh, this one doesn't have the price. This has the agenda. So the agenda is that it goes over a 6-week period. There's seven weeks of training. There's a training session each week, a live training session with me and our group of content creators. We start by defining the challenge, going over the program, doing some preliminaries. Then we get into unmet needs for your niche. They're all going to be different. Then we help you define your offering, the topic, the mode, the channel, and the promotion. Then we get into overcoming the obstacles about not having unique ideas. Then we talk about productivity, have a whole session on that, a whole week on that. Then the final week is devoted to planning, putting your plan together, and finally we have a closeout event at the end. And this is the format of the training. And I wasn't joking when I said it starts ASAP. Let's see what's on the next slide. I'll take questions in just a minute. Let's see. Oh, I think I clicked the wrong one. Click the wrong click. Where are we at? Looking for the slide. Sorry, guys. Okay, is that the right one? Yes, okay. All right, so this is a small program. There's not going to be more than 20 people, and we're hoping for more than 10. There is a combination. So we've never charged for this kind of training before. This time we are. So as you can see, we're experimenting with something. We're going to have a combination of paid spots. And for a paid spot, this is not $99 Jamaican. People outside of Jamaica might ask that. 99 US. You have a guaranteed seat. And you also have individual coaching hour with me. So we'll look far more deeply than you can in the group session into your personal content creation and the quality of your plan. There'll also be free spots by application and selection. The numbers don't add up because my math is just bad. Sorry about that. But at most we'll have 20 spots. So really what we're trying to do is to cater for those who know that they want to be in. And last time around, we only had application and selection, and some people were left behind. And afterwards they came to me and said, they really would have wanted to do it. And they wish they could have been selected, and maybe they would have paid, perhaps. So we said, okay, there's some people who really need this for their business. This is not a casual, optional thing. They need the benefit because they need to make the investment, and they see that it will be worthwhile. So we're going to have a blend. Bottom line is we're going to have a blend of free spots and paid spots. If you apply for a free spot, it's going to be by a selection process. As I said before, there's going to be weekly coaching calls. We're going to have a private group on Caribbean HR Forum community that we're going to converse on. We're going to have Google Meets calls each week. And then you'll have individual assignments and team assignments. I'll show you what those look like in a minute. But really what we're trying to do is get a blend of people. We're not trying to be biased, and if you get rejected, it's not because we don't like you and bad mind and all this kind of thing. It's because we're trying to balance different perspectives, and we're trying to get a learning opportunity, a unique learning opportunity going that otherwise wouldn't happen. So here's a challenge that you may take. Andrew Fairman says he's already signing up. Okay, good. Good to have you, Andrew. So we're going to have you create a mission at the beginning of the training. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, is the first part would be to experiment with one unfamiliar modality. So if you're a video person, we're going to ask you to play with text. If you're a text person, we're going to ask you to experiment with video. We're going to ask you to move out of your comfort zone, to explore other ways of creating content. The second thing we're going to ask you to do is to share content on at least 2 new platforms to you. So if you're a LinkedIn person, we're going to ask you to share content on Facebook and Twitter. If you're a Facebook person, we're going to ask you to share on Instagram. The idea there, again, is to give you a challenge and to broaden your understanding of what these platforms are about. The third is to develop 3 pieces of fresh content. Fresh content. I think it got cut off there, but it's of fresh content. So by the end of the program, we want to have 3 pieces of brand new content, okay, that you'd have developed. Not old stuff repurposed, but brand new content. So you'll have 3 pieces that perhaps you could be really proud of, that we'll give you feedback on, and maybe they might be a bit of a showcase for you. And then we want to have you develop a plan for the next 4 months of content generation, which would be in this case from February, March, April, May, I guess. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 mission. And we'll, if you're going to accept this mission, we'll allow you to make some small changes here and there, but we are going to make sure that it's something challenging, because we kind of in a serious game here, So here's the controversial part. When does it start? Oh, Francis, you're mashing up with Christmas. I'm in a parang band. Or I was before COVID. In Barbados, we don't have lockdown, Francis. You don't understand. We having parties. They've already started. We don't have a community spread, so it's a regular Christmas for us. So we're not going to be at home at all. All right, here we go. The dates. So there are 2 sessions before Christmas. We take a break during Christmas week. As you can see, we skip Christmas week, nothing in that week. And then we resume the week after. And we end the week of January 25th with the closing. So this starts the week of December 7th, which is 2 weeks from to a week and a half from today. We start that week. We don't know what the day is going to be yet. We actually have that in the application. So I'm going to give you a link to in a moment to the application. And you need to fill one out, even if you're going to be in it, and you're going to pay to be a paid member. Getting a little note from Paula. Paula, you want to send me a private note up here? So the idea here, and Dale and I went back and forth on this one, is I didn't want to wait. And my sense is that, if you're someone who really is committed to Christmas, like my friend was really committed to Carnival, there's some of you I know this is not for you. This is not, this content creation is a good idea, and maybe one day you'll get to it, but it's not for you right now. And thanks for coming to the webinar. Make sure you stay around. We're going to do networking in just a few minutes. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of the PCEP, which is all the videos from the conference. So stay and come and join. If you're on YouTube, you should come and join us as well. Use the same link, original link that you use in order to find the YouTube link. Come and join us because there's space for you if you're on YouTube, I think. But we're going to be gathering over there, so stay. But then you may be in that space where you know this isn't for you. That's fine. You may know, like Andrew, it's already for you. And how fast can I grab a spot? And if you're in that, I'm going to give you the link to sign up and find more information on the next slide, and we'll take care of you. If you know you want to apply and your fingers are crossed, make sure you apply quickly. Make sure your application is compelling. I hate saying no, but the quality of the program sort of calls for us to be picky and a bit selective. And we're going to go out and advertise this to the larger or mailing list, which is 3,000 people. So there might be some interest there. But if you're in the middle somewhere and you're on the fence, come and talk to me or talk to Dale about what your considerations are about joining a program like this. I can't tell you it's going to be ever offered again. We don't have plans to do it again. I hope it will be, and I hope the other trainings that we do will also repeated. But there's not a plan to repeat it, and I doubt it's going to be offered for at least the next couple of years. Definitely not next year, for sure. Maybe the year after. Okay? So come get your questions answered and find out whatever consideration might be there for you. All right, and here's the link with more information. And if you want to sign up, you can sign up there. It's one of those easy to understand ones. I hope somebody put that in the chat for me. What time will these interactions be? Faye, when you complete the application, we ask you what day of the week works best and what times work best. So we haven't decided yet. So when you fill out the application, just put your preferred time and dates, and I promise you we'll work something out that works for as many as possible. More information on next steps. Nobody put the link in the chat yet. I guess I'll have to. Nobody. HTTPS, bit.ly, TTPS. It has information. It has a place to. Thank you. No, not that link, Dale. I meant the link that I put for next steps. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to be there so that you can click on it when we go into the networking session. Carib HR Forum. Hi, Faye. Didn't see you in the group before. How are you? Long time no see. All right, I'm typing it in. Great. All right, and if you've never joined us in a networking session before, let me take you through a little quick introduction. So in the networking session, no, sorry guys, getting my act together here. So in the networking session, and why I really want you to, no, that didn't work. Sorry, guys. Get a little confused here. So when you come into the networking session, we're going to do a random draw for the post-conference experience program product. If you recall, I mentioned it before. This is $149 worth. We're going to be giving away one free to folks to at least one person, a random draw for someone who comes over into the networking session. But when you're in the networking session, I don't want you to just come and just do some vague stuff. Actually, have an assignment. And here's the assignment. Let's pull up the assignment. While you're networking, I think this is the assignment. Yes, okay. So this is an opportunity to meet other content creators. So I said before, having other people in your content creation life is a huge benefit. So I want you to meet people, and I want you to talk to them and brainstorm different ways to collaborate. Now, I'm not saying go commit to writing a book together. That could be later. This is just saying, hello, what do you do? What do I do? All right, how could we collaborate without any commitment on either side? Just an exploration with respect to what you could accomplish together. Okay? So, Samantha, sorry you have to go. But if you've never done networking with us before, here's a few tips. If you're new to our networking here at Remo, the refresh button is your friend. Hit refresh if you get stuck. To move to another table, just click on that table, double click, and if they have space, you'll join them. Make sure to turn on your camera and your microphone. And if you're in a room or in a table where somebody does not have a microphone or a camera, use the chat. The chat works really well. You can chat with them, and the chat is at the bottom of the screen. Paula, sorry to see you go also. If you haven't updated your profile, go up in the top right-hand corner, that blue button, update your profile, and that's it. So we're going to keep the room open until about 8:30, and you can stay as long as you want. No pressure, no obligation, nothing. If you have questions, you're going to come and ask me and Dale. And don't forget the exercise. So this is not pointless networking. This is networking so that you leave with a new bit of network. So an expanded network for you as a content creator. All right, guys. So I'm going to turn off the recording. Anyone who want to say goodbye to this part of the evening? I want to thank you for being so engaging and so awesome. Just put in the chat any goodbyes that you want to say so that we can go over to the networking session. Night, night, Paula. There's some thank yous. You're welcome, Wesley. It's been my pleasure. This is a topic I care a lot about. You're welcome. You're welcome, Chanel. All right, hold on to your horses. We're going to switch over. Good night, everyone. Night, Carl. Okay, we're going to switch over to networking mode. Go meet some content creators and look for when I announce the winner of the program. It will happen in the first 5 minutes.